So today is part 2 of how I break down something when I'm trying to learn it. In this case, that song I'm working on called You Got It by Brandon Fields with Tom Brechtlein on drums. Awesome playing on that. I've been working on this for, like a month now, maybe a little longer than a month. But the solo section, his drum solo, is what I'm working on. What I had done, just like the rest of the songs, I slowed it down to figure it out, because I've heard the song for like over 30 years from when it first came out, I think in '89. And always loved it, but never took the time to write out what it was until June. So basically, I've got a skeleton, I'll post it, you know how I do, of his little solo section. And I'm going to play it pretty much exact like he did the first 4 bars, because I just think they're genius, and I'll explain why. And then the last 4, I'm doing a variation of it, but when I do the actual song, I'm going to copy this, not do this, but do something close. So, but anyway, once I slowed it down, what I was hearing, which confused me, was he had done what Steve Smith explained in Steve's second drum video back about the same time, 87 to 88. It was the playing in 5, but over 4/4 time. Example. So that's how Steve would explain it. You're playing 5-note grouping, accenting the first and third of the 5, but it's in 4/4. It's like 1 and 2, 8 and dun, 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 dun. A lot of great rhythms that come out of that, and I've used it all over the kit, such as So there's just a couple examples. I've used it all over the place. A lot of great drummers I love have used that thing. Tony Williams did it all over the place too, and he would do it in 8th-note triplets, which I've never even gotten to. But the way he would do it, I'll do it in 16ths, but he'd do it like unison, like 2 hands at the same thing. So that's kind of how he would do it, one example. So anyway, when I was listening to this solo and writing it out slow, I was kind of mystified, because I was like, I'm hearing that down, 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 but it had a roll going on underneath of it. So I was like, what? So I kind of tweaked a couple things and wrote a couple things out and tried them. And I even messaged Tom, and he answered back with a video that I'll show you a clip from, where he's like, I'm not sure what the heck I did, but I think it was something like this. And that was about the time I sent him what I thought it was, which is the same 5-note grouping, but instead of like regular 16ths in 4/4, he was doing 16th triplets. I was like, oh, so there's a key for you right there. I've been playing 40 years, and I never thought to do that. So that's what this sounds like, and this is what he did in the solo, which is why I'm playing tribute to it, because I'm like, man, that was killer. So here is how that worked. And what he had added to it was the toms, and basically, it's very cool. He would bring it in like thusly. So from there, he was just doing the tom snare thing, like one hand, which I've never thought of that. That was just so genius. But he was using the 5-piece kit. I've got videos you can pull up. You can see him from that time. And it was basically that. That's all I hear on the thing. Mainly he was doing these two. On mine, I'm just adding this because I can. And just goofing around with it, but playing the same rhythm. And again, I just slowed it down, figured it out, started at first on the snare, which I'll show you real quick, and then I added the toms and then bringing it up to speed. And I pretty much got it now, but you got it, hey. But but the process was start very slow and painfully slow and work it up from there. That way when it gets up to speed, it's clean. It's like butter. It sounds beautiful. So anyway, so here's the solo, the first 4 bars on the snare, slow, and then I'll bring it up, or then I'll do it on here, and then I'll bring it up faster on the snare, and then this, and then show you kind of the whole thing all together. So here's a few little clips from that video that he sent me. And just to let you know about Tom, I think he's a very underrated drummer, meaning I don't think most guys out there realize how amazing this player is. Tom is top notch, and if you don't know, you need to look him up. He has played with Chick Corea, recorded and toured with him, did some amazing stuff. And during, the Weckl electric band phase, when everyone was, and I was one of them, going crazy every day, but I also discovered Tom, and I was like, holy crap, who is this guy? My experience was in 1986, graduated high school, my jazz band, Barry Ensman, Mr. E, fantastic musician and band director, and really brought a lot of stuff out of me and all the students. And he was able to get us to go to Montreaux Jazz Festival in 1986 and play in it also, like 5 concerts. It was like during the day, so we weren't obviously headliners or anything, but that was very cool. But each night we got to see different bands, and one night we saw Wayne Shorter, and Tom was the drummer, and he started off the entire concert with this amazing snare marching solo thing, and I was blown away. I was, thought I was the hot shot. I was 18 and over in Montreaux to play the jazz festival, and hey, I'm really good. And no, I was just blown away by Tom's playing. It was before Weckl had, blown into the scene, which was like later that fall. And so Tom made a big impression on me. And then this song came out, and I think it was 89, and it was the same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, Tom Brechtlein, check out his playing on this. And it was just amazing. So so for him to take a time, last month when I was curious and figuring my transcription stuff out to see if I was right or not, it was very cool that he actually took the time to record this little clip for me. So anyway, here's some of that, and I will be quiet and let him play. Notice how he's doing it slower. It did. So there you go. One of my heroes. So let me get back to showing you what I came up with based off what he did. that's basically what it is and how I did it. And I learned something completely different that I'm gonna start using that that's just killer, man. And with that 5-note grouping thing. So that's the process I do for everything when there's something that I'm like, man, I got to figure that out. And you just start real slow, painfully slow, and work it up. And again, it will be a lot cleaner than if you just try and do it right off the bat really fast. And yeah, hey, I got it. It sounds like crap, but I got it. Don't do that, because the smoother it is, and a lot of guys will agree with me on this, the smoother it is when it's slow and you bring up the speed, it's cleaner, and when it's cleaner, it even sounds faster. It's not faster, but it sounds faster because everything is so precise. So anyway, I hope that helps. That's part 2. Just got to work up the entire solo now, or the entire song now, and get it out to you also. So there's that. Let me know what you think. Thanks.